Hello from the small window on your screen. This is Adam Turtletail from the Healthcare Compliance Association. I'm joined today by Jeff Sinaiko from Altegra Health. Jeff, you've been a long-time exhibitor at the Compliance Institute. Can you talk about some of the value you've gotten out of exhibiting there?
Sure. Thanks, Adam. It's nice to be here on behalf of the association and the Compliance Institute. Um, we've been a sponsor and exhibitor for many years. I think we're at 12 years plus now. I'm not sure where our compliance consulting practice would be today were it not for the experience that we've had over the years exhibiting and the value that we've gotten from being an exhibitor and a sponsor at the Compliance Institute. That value ranges everything from buying full passes for our people who are going to be in the exhibit booth some of the time, but so they can also go to sessions and get their continuing education, which is invaluable, to the networking, to a significant aid in helping us brand ourselves as compliance experts, being associated with the Compliance Institute on a year after year basis, being involved in the association, and then having people be able to meet us and see us after we've been writing and they've seen all of our publications and so on. Really rounds out our year in the compliance space, and it's a must attend and has been for a long time for us.
That's great. So what are some of the things that other exhibitors and sponsors can do to maximize the value of their time while they're there?
Well, I think there's a few things that are important. One, a little bit of planning goes a long way. So there are always going to be people who maybe you haven't seen in a while, you want to reconnect with, or people who you've been trying to connect with and haven't had the chance to, and who are going to be at the conference. And so a little bit of planning to have meetings, separate and apart from the exhibit hours, or even being able to tell people, hey, come find me in the exhibit booth is always a great way to use the fact that you're in a specific location and that people do have the ability to find you. So a little bit of planning is always good. But the other thing I would say is that in addition to making the most of the exhibit hours, I think it's important to really get out and participate in the conference more broadly. Plan for some dinners. Plan to meet somebody for a cup of coffee in the morning or for a drink after the exhibit hours close, and really try to connect with people personally. There's only so much you can do, in the booth. And that personal, connection, the opportunity to really sit down and talk with and share experience with colleagues is probably the most important part of the whole thing, whether you're an exhibitor or just an attendee.
That's great. Are there any do's and don'ts that you've seen through the years?
Well, I mean, I would say kind of similar to what I just said. One of the don'ts would be don't assume that just because you have a booth in the exhibit hall and you're an exhibitor or maybe a sponsor, that's going to be all that you need to do in order to get the most out of the opportunity. I think that, like with a lot of things, the more you put into it, the more you get out. And so I would say do put as much into it as possible, and don't just assume that because you're an exhibitor, that's going to be all that you need to do to make the connections and to have it create the value that everybody wants it to.
That's great. That's great advice. Jeff, so thank you so much for sharing that advice, for taking the time to do this, of course, and then also for your support of the HCCA through the years. I look forward to seeing you in San Diego March 30th through April 2nd, and hopefully those of you watching will be seeing you there as well. I'm Adam Turtletail from the Healthcare Compliance Association. Thanks for joining us, and see you soon.
You got it, Adam. Thanks. We'll see you in San Diego.